Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Selfisinfinte podcast. It's your host, Jameer. And I appreciate y'all tuning in today. It's been quite some time since I've been filming the episode, since I've taken a moment like this, since I've just reflected. Happy to be back here. I have a lot of special things in store for you guys, such as just being outside, man in nature. Decided to kind of switch my space where I kind of film, where I'm at. I kind of want to start this in nature, if I'm being quite honest. If I had the space, it look really nice. When I'll be back in the space too, but this is kind of where I want to be, because it's just free out here, it's fresh air, the sounds of the birds and whatnot, the sun. This is in my element to a good degree. It feels very freeing, and that's why I kind of want this space to feel like this moment of freedom, moment of clarity. And I feel like that's what I feel when I'm out in nature, It's like a moment of clarity. So from now on, I'll be outside, and I want you guys to come out with me, and y'all see more of that pretty soon. But I don't think I've seen y'all in quite some time. Like, I haven't filmed episodes since April, I believe, or March. I don't know. There's been a lot going on between that time. Done a couple festivals with my brand, God's Archival. Been doing a lot of photography. I went to Rolling Loud last month. I've been doing a lot of things. I just graduated college, and it's such I guess like one of my biggest lifetime achievements. But before I graduated, I didn't really feel like I was about to graduate. Like, I didn't really feel like I was accomplishing something so grand and big. Kind of just felt like another day, at first. I feel it's been hard for me to like accept a lot of my wins, acknowledge the great things that I have done, because there's not always room, work to be done, it's always a bigger goal. But I've learned to acknowledge those moments. I think it's important that we acknowledge our achievements. We do give ourselves that pat on the back. We do kind of embrace those moments, because we worked for that. It didn't just happen. I put in the work to get to that point, and I should feel that, I should be happy. I should feel accomplished, because it is an accomplishment. This is a grand, major thing that I've, completed, It's a lot of time away from family, a lot of time away from things that I want to do outside of just school, just a lot of time. I don't know, it's easy to just brush some shit off, and just keep moving forward, especially as men, like, we just keep moving forward, we just keep going, we just keep going, regardless. And this, sometimes we forget to just take those moments to appreciate ourselves and congratulate ourselves for what we've done. Also, I feel like we move so fast that we forget to just breathe, take those moments. And I feel like I've spoken about this before, but recently I caught myself just going, moving, just like forgetting to just breathe, just take a moment, just to be. And a lot of the times I take my moments or when I'm smoking weed or I'm not smoking weed, just taking a moment. But moments like this where I'm intentionally taking a moment to reflect, intentionally just breathing, intentionally just connecting with everything around me, and getting closer to myself, I think moments like this is what brings you back to the self, brings you back to your mission, back to your greater your greater being, your greater essence, if you may say, if you want to say. So yeah. So that's new for me. I just graduated my bachelor's in psychology, and now like I'm in like this weird space, or it's supposed to be weird. It's weird because it doesn't feel like I graduated. When you graduate, people expect that you get a degree and you immediately have your career. Some people know that that's not the case at all as well too. So now I'm at that point where it's like I graduated, and now what? What is next for me? Like, a lot of things I had lined up for the summer after I graduated didn't kind of work out in my favor. They kind of fell through, and that's fine, because now I feel like I'm in the best space I could ever be. I don't feel like I'm behind. Don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, or I feel like I'm right where I need to be. Like, I spent the last 4 years constantly in school, And now like I have a chance just to take a break, a moment to do a lot of the things that I have desired outside of school, outside of just getting a degree. And I'm at the point now where it's like I'm not scared or worried or anything because I know what I want, I know where I want to be, I know where I want to go, I know what I desire. And I've taken a lot of time to figure that out. And with that being said, I don't fear what's next for me, and I just am trying to align myself for the best way possible for the blessings that are coming my way. I continue to, I think it's important that we journal and speak these things into existence, to kind of speak life into yourself, into your world, into your reality, and it will come back 360s towards you, the things that you're doing. Yeah, this is a weird space, a weird transition. Don't have a job right now, not liking my career. I haven't been doing a lot of photography lately. Rarely I haven't been doing any markets as well too, but I want to do a lot more reading. I want to do a lot more writing. I want to spend a lot more time traveling, and outside of the career path that I want to go. And that's why I'm like kind of fine with the space I'm in now, because I have the space to do a lot of the things that I want to do. A lot of time to just be closer with myself and the world around me. And I feel as though the closer you get with yourself, the closer you get with the world around you, the closer you get with yourself, the closer you get to your God. I feel like you have to really, I think it's really important for us to go and see the world. Like I would never, I don't know, I really think that's like the most important thing. It's getting out in your neighborhood, going out and seeing what's out, what's outside, you feel me? Seeing what's around. Damn, I have not done a podcast in so long. This is crazy. So hopefully the next time y'all see me, or the next episode, y'all will see me with up here. I want to have people out here. I want to have you guys out here with me, kind of just conversing, breathing in fresh air, just taking a moment to just reflect and be, because like I said, moving so fast all the time. Sometimes we forget. Just take a breath. We forget to just take a moment to ourselves. We forget to just reflect, just be for a second, just breathe. So, or just converse and express ourselves. I feel like a lot of people also don't feel like they have space to do so. So, this is a space. Come express yourself, That's what the podcast is for, space to just express, just to kind of just come and be, and also just to kind of get to the deeper parts of yourself, the deeper questions that we should be asking ourselves, from time to time, not every day, because that'll get a little crazy, but who are we, where are we searching for, where are we trying to go, where do we come from, where are the cosmos, what is spirituality, any questions you have within yourself, or like, who are you, what am I, what is this essence of being, and how do I get deeper within that, I think it starts with these moments. So, it is men's mental health award this month. I think I'll be having a podcast with a group of some guys, and this month, if y'all want to be a part of that, you want to be a part of that, shoot me a DM. But I feel like as men, mental health awareness month for men is very important, because as men, especially black men, we've been told from time to time, or just within society, we're told to just kind of keep going. We're told that our mental health kind of doesn't matter to a degree. We're looked at as the provider, as the giver. Like we don't have time to think about how we feel. We don't have time to be emotional, and that's all false. And I hope a lot of people are kind of getting over that by now. But I think it's really important we do kind of sit with our emotions. We do sit with how we feel. We do need to conceptualize and think about our actions and our habits. It is important for us to feel, and to be emotionally available for people that we love, And if we're not working on our mental each day, if we're not kind of asking questions or looking back at our past to make our future better, or looking towards the future, to fix our past. But it's important we kind of we do embrace, our feelings. We do kind of take our mental health or more serious, because you can't do anything if we're not mentally in, I mean, we can be just moving, flowing, and existing, but I think we all want to be living in this planet. I think we all want to actually feel like we're worth something, like we're worth living, like life is worth living, not just working and not just providing. And it sucks that there are a good degree of men that have to just provide. They don't have the time to think about. I take that back. There are a good degree of men that just provide. They don't think about their feelings, but there's always time to think about how you feel. There's always time to have a therapist. You can make time for anything. You make time for pussy. You can make time for your mental health. Make time to go and spend the money, $100,000 in the fucking bank, or go make time to go buy this or that. You can make time for your mental health, and I think that's the main thing, just making the time and creating the space for ourselves to just be, ourselves to just kind of reflect or converse with somebody to help us out. And this is what I want this to be. I'm not trying to be anybody's therapist or anything like that, but I just want to, hopefully I can embrace somebody to embrace you all, to come outside and take a fresh breath of air, take a moment to yourself as well too, because it's really important. Oh, I think I caught that perfectly. I hope so. That would be really cool if I did. Um, so I did just graduate. Speaking of mental health, I just graduated with my bachelor's in psychology. And within psychology, there's not much you can do with the bachelor's degree besides like do RBT work or things of that nature. But I'm minoring in anthropology as well too, and through my study abroad ventures the last 2 years, I realized that that's realistically what I want to do. Like I want to be in cultures. I want to be learning about various cultures, learning about the geography, learning about the origin. I want to see ancestral grounds. I want to see memorial sites, things of that nature. I want to learn. I want to get more into memory preservation. These are things that, I want to do career-wise in case you guys give a fuck, you know. Um, and it's not necessarily motivated by the money, because the money will always be there. I think it's important to kind of just move within your, not from the monetary gain perspective, although that this world, then in society, you kind of, I'm not mad if you do, but kind of going back to remembering or reflecting on the things that you actually want within your life, your reality, the things you actually cherish, the things you want to embrace in your world, the things you want people to see, the community you want to bring about. I think we forget that, or I'll say this, for some time I've been really selfish, and within that selfishness, I feel like it's easy to forget that there's something I'm living for that's greater than myself, that there's a bigger mission at hand. It's easy to just be selfish, and keep all your greatness to the world, or just keep yourself from people, or just not be sharing your kindness or your love or your light. But it's important that we do in that manner. It's important that we don't be selfish. In the aspect of just doing for ourselves. Also, like thinking about our communities. Thinking about our families. Thinking about making our mother's situation better, our grandparents' situation better, and that's been like the biggest thoughts on my mind lately. Like my biggest life goal, my life mission is to like better my family's situation. I want to see my family living their best fucking life every day, not just once out the year. Or they deserve that every day, And I think a lot of people don't think about that because within the society, you're so taught to think about the self, and you are separated from family. But I don't know about you, but I want my family to live life, because life is worth living, and everybody doesn't feel that way. Everybody doesn't think life is worth living, or some people think life is worth a bad place, but I think it's all in perspective. There's a lot of bad things happening every day, but there's so much good as well too. There's so much goodness, so much love to be spread around. There's enough for all of us, and it's up to us to decide if we want to partake in that or not. It's up to us to decide if we want to be a part of our community and bring something positive to it. So more than anything, that's what I am longing to do, or I've been looking into how I can be of service to my community through my creativity, I guess you could say, or just through my mind. Even my mind is, so I feel like we all owe for when our ancestors are one of those before us, as well as our community, something to offer. We all have something to offer. We owe that to the greater good. Oh yeah, I went to Rolling Loud recently too as well. I went to Rolling Loud I only went because I graduated. It was like the same weekend as or the next day after my graduation, so I felt like it was a good celebration. A good thing. It made sense. That's really the reason why I did it. I wouldn't have went if it wasn't my graduation, but um, well, it was a really good experience. This time I went with a group of guys, so I don't got too many friends. So it was really cool. It was cool to go with this group of guys. Everybody was cool as hell. Everybody was having their own baby shit. Wasn't no drama, no weird shit. And it was cool as hell. This time around though, I went in 24, and that's when I feel like they had like a bigger variety of like a well-rounded group of artists, like Future, Rick Ross, like a lot of not just the certain group. So I'll say this time they had nothing but underground artists for real. That's what it seemed like. Like it was more so underground artists, like catered to the youth more so. Last time in 24 I went, it was like a well-rounded, like you couldn't come if you're like 50 as well too. Like there's somebody for you maybe. I don't know. But this time I feel like 24 was better because of the well-roundedness of artists. But I won't say it was better. I'll just say that I enjoyed that experience. But this one was really, really, really amazing as well too. I think my favorite, of course, from that I see perform, Nine, of course, or Jesus. I want to fuck with no boy before I went to go see him perform, but that motherfucking Pete was motherfucking crunk. Them young boy lit. Jesus, goddamn. Who else is in there? Who else I seen? Jesus, Skate, Nine. Who else? Who else I went to go see? We seen. I don't know who else we went to go see. Oh, Ken Carson and Cardi, of course. Yeah, we seen Playboy Max. Oh, Osama's son. Goddamn. Who else is in that bit? We seen Thug popped out. We seen Ursula Entree in the crowd. Goddamn Sexy Red. It was a good bit. It was a good bit of people. Who else? Oh, until Japan. It was a good mix of underground artists this time. But I think the best performance was Not Vicious. I ain't gonna lie, Not Vicious is going up rapidly. But yeah, overall, that was a really good experience. Really was the group of people I went with that really made it a cool ass experience for real. First guys trip for real. First time making it out of group chat, so that was real cool. I ain't gonna lie, it was a good way to celebrate my graduation. And I had a grad party the next week. My family, they all came down. Um, they all came down. Not everybody, of course. There's even some people that had passed last year that didn't get to make it. But they were there. It's weird, of course. I think I'm gonna get a little dark here, but I think one of the more crazy or one of the most overarching questions that I think a lot of us, or at least myself, live with today, that's never left my mind, at least, in the back of my mind always, is the thing of death. How weird it is, how it's not always accepted or talked about in many rooms or normalized, or I don't want to say normalized, but it's just it's a weird topic to speak on. It's a heavy topic to speak on. Last year I lost some of the closest, not from the closest people to me, but some close people to me. Some really surprising deaths, and some of my biggest supporters, at least, and of course it hurt, of course it was weird, it was random. I think the first time I've experienced it was losing my grandmother when I was in the 7th grade, I'm not sure. And that was like the first time, kind of just like, I don't know, the thoughts in my mind. I remember my mom was crying, like, I want to die, I don't want to die. Like just finding out about it, and not really understanding, no one really being there to kind of help you understand or really talking about it. I think it's something you have to kind of figure out on your own, but I think it needs to be more conversations about it. I don't think death should be a scary topic. I don't think it should be something that we are afraid of or that we have to fear for. I think it should be something that we can kind of come together and speak about. What is your gaze like on, I'm talking about death right now. Sorry, I know it's heavy. I know it's very heavy, but like when you hear death or when you think about death, does it scare you? Like, how does it make you feel?
I feel like it used to scare me, but now I'm at peace with it. I don't know. I feel like death is like a rank up. Maybe not a rank up, but just the idea, even like in Black Panther, where they go on to be with the ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, nobody knows what death is like truly, after we pass on. But like, just having that as my belief system kind of puts my mind at ease. Just like guiding uh, my little earth beings after that, and just being an everlasting source of energy. The only part that scares me about death is not accomplishing something before I pass.
That's what I was saying the other night. I was like, if I can't, I was thinking about something. I was like, if I don't achieve that before I pass, I don't think my life was complete.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be happy at my deathbed because I didn't make that happen. Getting back, y'all. I had to switch my camera because my camera died. But yeah, we was talking about death, and I was saying that if I don't complete X, Y, and Z before I pass, or if I don't learn or understand X, Y, and Z before I pass, I would feel like maybe I won't go to the afterlife. Maybe I don't know, that altar where I go. I don't know. Oh, I thought they were robbing my car. I won't just feel fulfilled at my deathbed. I don't know what happens afterwards, or how that will affect what happens afterwards. But I feel like I don't want to pass accomplished, not accomplished, but more so than anything, we're going past the actual point of that. I feel like, as back to what she said, death is like this. I forgot what you were saying. I'm sorry. I hope they caught that. But like, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Rank up?
Yeah, like a rank up. Like death is like a rank up. Like, because life is endless, and we're on this physical plane. We're on this third dimension, and there's more dimensions. And this one, of course, we don't know if you want to get into the actual quantum physics of it all. If you want to actually get literal and not outside of your fucking base level ass mind, American fucking colonized mind. This world is endless. Not just this world, but this thing we call life. It's very endless, and energy, of course, as you've been taught, cannot be destroyed. So we, of course, go somewhere. Energy, things called ancestors that we have, that are there for us. That I've realized over time, and my dear friend over here has helped me as well realize. That when people die, their energy still lies. Um, and if you feed into that energy, if you kind of remember your people, acknowledge them in any ways you can, instead of just letting their memory just fade. I think it's important that we keep those before us, their memory alive, because they're still here. They're still here for us, and they're still, their energy still lies just because they're not here in the flesh. I know it's kind of hard to kind of compartment or to really feel that, like they're gone. Of course, you can't physically speak to them, but there's been moments I feel where I felt my grandmother's hug long after she's been gone, from just like moments in my life when I felt really down or when I've called upon, her, thinking about her. I've felt this mysterious hug, that wasn't so mysterious and felt very familiar, Um, and I think I wish, or it's not a thing that's taught or pretty prominent within this society. Um, but I feel as though we kind of do it without even realizing, like the memorials we have for those that have passed, or every other year coming together, remembering someone that has left us. I think it's important we commune with the ancestors in the ways that we can.